pronounce the words. In my opinion, the most important is not to be fast. The most important is for you to repeat the words precisely. Right?
Okay.
Precisely. It doesn't matter if you say, what does Richard forget? What does Richard forget? That's right. So you have to fill the words like what? What? That's it. What? Or repeat it. What?
What?
Yeah. What?
What?
Does
Does
Richard?
Richard
Yeah, just say Richard. Forget.
forget?
Yeah, now you put it together. What does Richard forget?
What did Richard forget?
Yes. So you take the pronunciation, intonation. What does Richard forget?
What did Richard forget?
Okay, Richard meets Alexander Pappas. Listen to me again. Richard meets to Alexander Pappas. Okay, so you got the stress intonation. Stress intonation. Always work like this. The more you listen, the more you're going to have a correct intonation. All right?
Okay.
All right? All right?
I have to watching every day.
No, it's up to you. It's up to you. If you are, for example, when you have available time, for example, suppose your husband is driving, so you can listen because you are not driving. Okay, so that's right. So suppose you are on a reception room waiting for the dentist. Okay, what you're gonna do? Okay, I'm going to watch. You have your phone and it's okay. So you listen. So you take your time.
Okay.
That's right. And then sometimes I am on the bus. Now I got a Duolingo, right? Got a Duolingo. And then sometimes I'm talking. People look at me and say, I don't care. Well, I'm studying. Okay, I'm studying. So that's my time. Of course, you're not going to disturb. Of course, you're not going to disturb people on the bus, right? But that's it. Listen to me again. Of course. Are you listening? Of course, you are not going to disturb people on the bus, but take your time. Of course, you are not going to disturb people on the bus, but take your time. So you see, I repeat again, but I repeat it with the same stress and intonation. Of course, you are not going to disturb people in the bus, but take your time. But take your time. Oh, remember, I told you last class, that is another language. That's English. Of course, you're going to have a different intonation. Who is going to give you the correct intonation? The video. Okay? That's right. So here you go.
Alexandra, some pictures for Family Album USA.
Family Album USA. It's an album of pictures of the United States.
Later, Richard leaves quickly.
Bye-bye, Alexandra. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
And he forgets something. What does Richard forget?
Okay, most of the questions, they are based on the speaking actions. I'll call the speaking actions, the speech, right? Because I want you to pay attention to the conversation, to the dialogue, right? To the dialogue, to the sound groups. They call sound groups. But sometimes, for example, just for you to pay attention, I say, what is Richard's address? Is Richard's address 45 Linden Street? Is Richard address 44 Linden Street, or is Richard address 46 Linden Street? So it's there, right?
Linden Street.
Yeah, it's there. 46, okay, Linden Street. Why? Because you have to pay attention. You have to pay attention to everything. Ah, that's right. Is Richard at home, or he's at the harbor?
Harbor.
Okay, so he is at the harbor, right? Who does Richard meet?
I don't know.
Yeah, what's the name of the girl?
Oh,
Okay,
Alexander.
yes, that's right. Very good. Now listen, okay, what I'm gonna say. Who does Richard meet? That's okay. That's the question. Who does Richard meet? So you're going to say Richard meets Alexander Pappas. So you're going to give me complete answer. That's right. For example, what does Richard do for a living?
Let's say.
Sorry?
Let's say.
No, what does he do for a living? What is his occupation?
Photography.
Again, what is Richard's occupation?
Photography.
Richard is a photographer,
Photography.
right? So you can say Richard is a photographer, right? Is Richard in Michigan, or he is in New York?
New York. New York.
Yes, okay, he is. Let's see, he is in New York.
He is New York.
Okay, so that's right. So remember, I'm not going to say, for example, what does Richard? Oh, I ask a question. I ask you a question like this: what does Richard do for a living? What does Richard do for a living? What do you say? Photographer. No, you're gonna say, what does Richard do for a living? He is a photographer. Ah, okay, that's right. Oh, does he live in New York or in Michigan? Oh, Richard lives in New York. That's right. Do you know why? For example, if you just say words, right? Photographer, New York, marriage. So we know what happened. Your English is going to be very short. Your English is going to be very short, right? For example, if I ask you, what is your favorite fruit? What is your favorite fruit? Of course, you're gonna say my favorite fruit is apple. That's okay. That's all right. What I'm checking? I'm checking your vocabulary, your structure, right, and the way and your fluency. In your fluency, when you say my favorite fruit is pineapple, okay. So I'm going to check your intonation. Very good. That's right. So that's it. So you listen to the video. Don't listen to the dogs. Just a second. I'll kill the dog. I'll kill the dog. Shh. Shut up, dog. Shh. Shut you up. Shut you up. No. Oh, some cats. We got some cats. Right? Okay. Here we go. So you got it? Okay, are you following me? That's right. So you're gonna do it yourself. You have your remote control and you listen, right? At the same time you practice your speech, right? And then you'll get to know the Statue of Liberty, right? And this is an old movie, right? This is an old movie. And probably you're going to see the World Trade Center on the back. Okay, that's right.
Excuse me. My name is Richard Stewart. I'm a photographer. May I take a picture of you and your little boy?
What's it for?
That's for a book.
You're writing a book.
Oh, it's a book of pictures. I call it Family Album USA.
Oh, that's a nice idea. Well, it's fine if you take our picture. I'm more than that.
Thank you. I appreciate your help. I'm Richard. What's your name?
Carol?
How old are you, Joe?
5.
And where do you live?
We live in California.
Well, welcome to New York.
Okay, that's right. So you see, from the television is very hard to understand,
Yes.
right? But that's okay. But I sent you the link for the lesson, right? But anyway, we have a scenario. We got the scene right here, right? And how many people are there in the picture?
3.
Sorry?
3. And 2 people. 3.
Oh, listen to the question again. How many people are there in the picture? Are there?
There are 3 people. Yes. No, 4?
Yeah, that's right.
See.
And so that is the purpose. It's okay. This question, it's so simple because there. Okay, how many people are there in the picture? What is the test here? The test is for you to pay attention to the video, and you are going to use the structure. You say how many people are there in the picture? Oh, there are 4 people in the picture. That's right. And who is Richard talking to?
Richard talked to with the woman and the girl.
Yes, that's right. And so, what does Richard? Richard said, "Excuse me. Excuse me. What's the meaning of excuse me?"
What's the meaning?
Yes. Excuse me. Excuse me.